Hare Krishna. श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी की जय। श्री श्री पंचतत्व भगवान की जय। जय नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। राधापुर जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मई की जय। गौर निताय की जय। A very warm welcome to everybody for this morning's Japa Yajna. As always, let's put a pause to your Japa because the next 20-30 minutes we shall discuss a verse from the Amala Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gandharvika, Giridhari Gandharvika, Giridhari Gaura Hari. Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantade Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantade Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Very warm welcome to for all the devotees of Radha Gopinath Circle for this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before I start, on behalf of my leaders, I thank all the Japa leads who come in and perform their service very nicely today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tuto Jayamudire Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Reading from first canto, chapter 7, titled The Son of Drona Punished. We are in a very interesting phase, and we are today's topic would be from verse 41. If you can see that, someone can.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. If you can repeat after me. Atopyate swashibiram.
Athopete swashibiram.
Govinda priyasarati.
Govinda priyasarathi.
Nyavedyat tam priyayai.
Nyavedayattam priyayai.
Navedyat tam priyayai.
Nyavedayattam priyayai.
Sochantyatmajanhatan.
Sochantya atmajanhatan.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Word meaning and translation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ataha, thereafter Upetya, having reached Swa, own, Shiviram, camp, Govinda, one who enlivens the senses, Lord Shri Krishna, Priya, dear, Sarathi, the charioteer, Nevedyat, Navedatyat, entrusted to, Tam, he, Priyayi, on to the dear, Sochanti, lamenting for, Atmajan, own son Satam, murdered, Translation: after reaching his own camp, Arjuna, along with his dear friend and charioteer Sri Krishna, entrusted the murderer onto his dear wife, who was lamenting for her murdered sons. Very short purport. We'll just read this, please attentively hear. The transcendental relationship of Arjuna and Krishna is of the dearmost friendship. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord himself has claimed Arjuna as his dearmost friend. Every living being is thus related with the Supreme Lord by some sort of affectionate relationship, either as a servant, as a friend, as a parent, or as an object of conjugal love. Everyone can enjoy the company of the Lord in the spiritual realm if he at all desires and sincerely tries for it by the process of Bhakti Yoga. So, a very nice verse. So, before I even discuss on this, I thank my leaders for giving me this service, which I treated as a purificatory service. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamathyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapata Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Atopyate Swashibiram Govinda Priya Saratihi Nya Vedyatam Priyaha Sochayanti Atmahatam. Let me highlight this, otherwise. Sorry for the delay. So we were in a very interesting phase. So the last verse, I mean, the last section, we came to know how the villain was treated, what are the reasons which Krishna gave. Okay, so I'm sure this thing is stayed back in everyone's mind in the last few classes, right? Krishna gave very elaborate 5 reasons why Ashwatthama had to be killed. Called him cruel, wretched person. And then he reminded, Draupadi, your promise, you're a murderer of your, he was murderer of his own family. Like this he gave. So, though here Arjuna actually did not like the idea of killing Ashwatthama. It's a very tricky and it's very complicated now. See, so what Krishna has done, Krishna has actually given some direct instruction to Arjuna, right? From yesterday's verses, we could, a couple of verses, we could clearly get that instruction, okay? But these verses from 40 and 41 bring out some very nice aspects, okay? Just will take help of the first 40th verse to explain the situation. Yesterday, Varaha Prabhu, His Grace Varaha Prabhu very nicely mentioned a lot of tests will be given and a lot of tests all the various devotees have had. But here, the very first line, he's Krishna started Suto Vacha, he says Parikshita Dharma. So there is a pariksha going on. The testing was going on. Okay. What is the testing? Asking him to kill, though he was Guru Sultan, Atmahanan. So there was a lot of, he's a murderer, all those things. Now, imagine if we get an instruction from a guru, okay, or you go to ask some permission, he gives you a permission, but he does not want to do, you to do that. Okay. So do not worry. This won't come to us. It's a very, very mature person. This relationship between Arjuna and Krishna was so good that he could actually handle this. Okay. Going beyond the words. Only someone who's got very, very deep relationship with a guru can understand these kind of instructions. Actually, what is Krishna saying? Kill. But deep down, only Arjuna could understand what he wanted him to be done, what he wanted to do with Arjuna, right? So, in a way, we can say he got a surprise test. For those who worked in a bank or any other organization, you all get this sudden check. What is your cash balance? And actually, do you have some cash? Okay, somebody walks in and they don't inform you. So, otherwise, all our tests are regular. You're informed. Of course, test in Krishna consciousness is your answer paper is also leaked. So easy it is. But here, look at the test which was given to Krishna on dharma, on sense of justice. Okay. So these verses directly actually discusses these points. Why did this entire thing happen? Because Draupadi had cried. Okay, and to satisfy, Arjuna said, I shall get the dead body. Now suddenly Arjuna is seeing Ashwatthama as Guru's son. Now Arjuna's the gratitude part of his for his guru, it has come out. Now thou at the if you just see it as straight as is where it is, it appears that Arjuna is disobeying Krishna, right? See, in today's verse it clearly says that, right? Arjuna had instructions, after a detailed analysis, after giving reasons, but he brought in front of his wife Draupadi. Okay, so this is where I said it may appear like, as though it is disobeying. Okay, but just to understand this subject, we were mentioning even yesterday discussion, it came in, or one of the Sunday morning classes, His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu was telling, all the tests which come to you, which will be within your subject, within your syllabus. Meaning, a child might say, today's exam was very difficult, but teacher knows very much that these questions were asked within the syllabus. Similarly, in our lives too, when we get some tests, okay, those are all within the syllabus which the person can handle, right? So imagine, Arjuna did this. I mean, not following the orders of Krishna directly to kill. He's actually pleasing the Lord. Can you even, comprehend this? It's very difficult to do, right? So sometimes it is like this. Only a person having deep relationship with his guru, with his mentor, will understand this. Like in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to order Lord Nityananda, don't come to Jagannath Puri. And when Lord Nityananda used to arrive at Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. Okay. And so is the devotees. Okay. So only they can understand these instructions when no is an actually yes. Okay. It's a very, very deep love. Okay. So surely, at least I'm not expecting that in the birth, directly expecting those kind of difficult understanding of Guru's instructions or leaders' instructions. Many times this has happened, even to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu used to say no to Jagadananda Pandit, okay, saying don't go to Vrindavan or something. Then obviously we do this, right? When you know that the husband doesn't approve, we approach through the wives. So similarly, Jagadananda Pandit approached through all his favorite devotees, Ramananda Rai and other people, saying, please get me an approval to go. So And because of his deep love and affection, because of their understanding, so Mahaprabhu used to say, okay, go, but you come back soon, or something like that. He gets an instruction. So it's all about communication, right? um, like sometimes very difficult to understand a senior devotee, right? Because when he say actually, when he say yes also, because the way we go and ask we our permissions, actually it will be a no, but just to please, he would have said, okay, go ahead and do something, So it's that way. We should be very careful. We should understand the mood of seniors. That way someday we will be able to, in that line of, we will be able to understand our instructions of Guru, and maybe one fine day understand what Krishna wants from us too. Okay, so here Arjuna was understood that this was the test for him. He knew that Krishna also did not want him to be want him to kill Ashwatthama. So, but he had promised Draupadi. So Arjuna was looking at, in a way, Krishna saying, do you really want me to do this? Okay. These are all, please understand, very intimate pastimes. Okay. What appears to us, at least what we read, is all instructions from Bhagavad Gita, which, or, which probably says, Eke he Kurunandana, or, offer me patram pushpam param toy. Very straight instructions. Sarva dharma parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Here at all, very clear. You do this, you do this. But see, if you really see Srimad Bhagavatam, why this is Amala Purana, or why this is so beautiful, is that what is coming out is this friendly relationship between devotees and Bhagavan. Now, if someone is reading this page directly, or Srimad Bhagavatam, or picks up some other canto and reads it, it may appear very clearly, at least in this case, oh, what is this? Arjuna had a different desire, is it, than that of Krishna, or it may even appear that he is not acting upon such clear instructions of Krishna. Okay, so just see how important it is to read these books under the guidance of a devotee, or at least when you're reading, if you have to clarify the doubts within the devotee satsang, within the circle, so that it benefits you and benefits others also. There, Srimad Bhagavatam is got, at least from whatever we have heard so far, many such instances where something is said, actually it is not meant to. Okay, so even I had heard in a lecture that Parikshit Maharaj, right, after going through the fifth canto of too much of detailed discussion about hellish planets, Parikshit Maharaj is showing concern. He's saying, oh my God, these so many varieties of hellish planets, these jivatmas will go. So he had compassion. So he was in a way asking Sukadeva Goswami, what is the way forward for these jivatmas? So now Sukadeva Goswami, instead of telling Parikshit Maharaj that Bhakti Yoga is a route, he just told him, they all have to perform karma kanda activity, yagna, Obviously, it was a wrong answer. But imagine, why I'm mentioning this here is that imagine if somebody had picked up this book and read this particular verse only. So they will be misguided, right? What is this? Bhagavatam is giving this kind of, Sukadeva Goswami is giving this kind of. So, so they will infer also wrongly. Now, only by reading a little more, or through the same series, will you understand that actually Sukadeva Goswami is testing. Obviously, Parikshit Maharaj did not like the answer. I'm not satisfied. It's wrong. Then that famous verse came, right? Kunjara Sauchit. That is, he explains this. What is this? It's like an elephant's bath and all that. Not once. In that time, first he tried his. Second time also, I was told that he tried first, then Jnana Yoga. Okay, again Parikshit Maharaj rejected. Oh, then Sukadeva Goswami was feeling very happy. Only when he mentioned bhakti, kevala bhakti. Okay, then how ignorance will be removed only by Vasudeva Parayan. So that is when finally Parikshit Maharaj accepted that good answer, right? Saying that, okay, this is what is a good answer. So Krishna was testing in this particular case, Arjuna, just to understand the standard of the disciples, right? This kind of test Krishna has done with many. I mean, Gopis is probably the best example. In the night, he started playing flute and called everyone and said, okay, okay, you can now go back to your homes. I mean, and they absolutely refused. I mean, it was a Krishna's instruction, get back to your homes. Okay, it's midnight, but they refused to. Okay, only they can understand what it is. And then you all know that famous Raslila pastime happened. Okay, so uh, uh, we cannot anytime compare about gopis, because if I have ever I don't know whether the right word, pick up parlance to us or him, or try to take anything which is common between gopis and us, we are constantly trying to remember Krishna in our mind. What gopis were meditating or constantly trying to remove Krishna from their mind. That is the huge difference between us, our conditioned souls, and gopis. So they are the topmost devotees. I'm just remembered this point, and so it's to please a guru after is only after serving many years you will understand. Forget guru, even if we can try to please our leaders, okay, continuously understanding their mood, what are they serving, under the yatra leader, and then finally to guru. Okay, one day maybe just keep on pleasing Vaishnavas, keep on pleasing leaders. Sometime we can understand what guru wants, and finally what Krishna wants, maybe. Okay, of course, exalted devotees have always been there. We've from the Shastras we know that, from Ramayana we can understand that how Hanuman used exactly knew what Lord Ram wanted. If Lord Ram removed his head to, Hanuman knew that he would need water now. Remember, Lakshmana was 24/7 serving Lord Ram, but it was Hanuman who could exactly know what he wants to do now. So we've heard the same wonderful relationship existed even in our glorious parampara. I've heard that Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, so he exactly knew what Srila Prabhupada wanted. Somehow many of his places where you read, clearly suggests that Maharaj knew what Prabhupada, what would please, when does he want water, whatever, he exactly knew he would go and come and give it to Prabhupada. And very rarely we know that Prabhupada has ever embraced a devotee. And when His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj gone and purchased the land for Mayapur and gave it, he was so happy that, Prabhupada actually had embraced Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So these are some, we can pick many such exalted devotees who exactly knew what their guru or what their spiritual master wanted, right? So you can take some practical examples, right? We will go with, I mean, sorry, the verse is very small. So we will just come to the various aspects of, to understand how the relationship is between a leader or our guru, right? How do we get that connect? How is that spiritual connect? Um, so we'll take up the seva, for example, right? Who does get a seva? One who does not complain, right? Who tells, I'm welcoming this seva, right? Now there are two aspects in a seva. One is when a seva is given, we nicely do the seva, whatever is told to us. Now the other one is being in the mood that, okay, I want to serve. How can I serve this? How can I do this service better? Right? That attitude or that mood is the one which will lead us to understand eventually what I was saying, to understand what Krishna wants from us. So see, if you can take examples of our own Guru Maharaj, see the way our spiritual master Gurudev is so deeply convinced about what Srila Prabhupada wanted them to do. Not just our Guru Maharaj, any of the spiritual masters who are in the who are in our disciplic succession, who have been given authority to take disciples, the way they are convinced about how they're spending their entire life thinking on what more should I do for our to please their spiritual masters, right? So what is the take-home message we can get from all these wonderful parampara, from all the scriptures which we are getting access to thanks to Srila Prabhupada? That we need to follow instructions and have a desire to please our leaders and other devotees, senior Vaishnavas, who are carrying Krishna in their hearts. Okay, so one day, somehow or the other, we will be able to understand what our Guru wants and finally what Krishna wants, right? So, why we need to keep thanking and paying gratitude to our preeminent Guru Srila Prabhupada is that he's created ISKCON, and all the aspects of bhakti can be utilized from here, right? Everything, right from your japa, your regulative principles, you get seva at the temple, you get a congregation, right? But we also need now and then a small exams to pass, right? Only when you have normal exams you get promoted, right? All the students, when they get promoted to next year, they need to they have exams. The same way we also might get a small exam, and we will be tested in bhakti too. Okay, again I'm saying, within the syllabus we will not get what Pandavas got, or Prahlad Maharaj got, or those kind of tests we will not get, right? A simple test, we get shloka reciting only more than 4 5 shlokas, we run up to our leader and say, Prabhuji, we can't buy heart. We go with a crying to our leaders in our bhakti shastri. So our tests will be uh, definitely within our syllabus. But now, who will get this test? Only those who chant our rounds for following for regulative principle. Imagine if someone can't do the rounds, can't follow, not coming for seva, surely they need not worry. The test will not be there. Krishna will not test. Test is only for those who are absorbed in bhakti, right? So it is, we'll be able to understand what Krishna's desire is, or what, or only when we are in absorbed and we show a little interest in the seva and bhakti. So whenever we are in confusion, whenever we are not able to understand what is Krishna's desire, what is the best solution? Best solution is always, of course, chant, but one of the most important thing is consult a devotee, somebody very senior, somebody who cares for you, somebody whom you can trust, somebody who will surely uh, understand and advise as per your current status. Okay, it's a very wise thing to do. Consulting is a very, very wise thing to do. Actually, it is a very good culture. I've heard in many classes that Radhanath Maharaj directly praising someone, he consults his wife and things like that. So there is nothing wrong in consulting. Okay, in fact, decisions taken on our own is very dangerous. So here, as per the promise, Arjuna brought Ashwatthama. Please understand, many clear, Prabhupada writes, right? Wonderful line, that is, dearmost friend. Okay. So, and he says that every living entity has some sort of affectionate relationship, either as a servant, friend, or parent here. So, like Parikshit Maharaj, intelligence was tested, his eagerness was tested, okay, steadiness was tested, all that. We will not be give those kind of strict tests, but tests are very, very important. Keep doing a dipstick analysis about where our bhakti is heading, right? So it is good to utilize all the shiksha levels to understand that this is the formal way of saying that yes, we are slowly progressing in our bhakti. Okay, scriptures are beautiful, they give a lot of emotions, deep meanings, right? That is why I say, many times we say we should hear only from a bona fide parampara. How will you understand if you just read all these 2 verses? It just says he brought in front of Draupadi, he gave it, he handed over to her. These are bhashyams, these are purports. The classes by senior Vaishnavas are so wonderful that allows us to understand the deep meanings, this loving relationship between devotees and Bhagavan. So these are very, very important verses. At least these 2 verses to me, I found it very interesting. And giving us, keeping that excitement on. And now to see what is the kind of discussions they're going to have after seeing, after Arjuna starts showing some kind of gratitude and compassion towards this, because he was his guru's son. We will wait and watch for the other few verses. So as of now, I could, Prabhuji, only list out a few points like this. Please, anyone who's wanting to add a few points or correct me or ask any questions, we can continue. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.